I want to start this episode off by saying these old AMD computers are very loud. I paid less than $50 for this computer. Can I get a kill? I got a kill! I got a headshot! I got a headshot with a $50 computer! So, what can you do with a 10-year-old $50 AMD PC with a Radeon that is 9.5 years old? You can play Counter-Strike Go at 1080p. And I'm going to show you how. And we're also going to explore how we can make it better, how we might be able to get some serious frame rates at a game like CSGO. We're also going to look at some older games like Crysis and how this computer performs, and what really is a sweet spot for games for a computer like this. Will it play BioShock Infinite? Will it play Rocket League? We're going to check out all this, and maybe you can build yourself a $50 PC on Craigslist and get some real runtime and some cool stuff going on it, and even play games at 1080p. Cue an intro. We're going to talk all about my budget AMD build. They're gonna score on me. We are now getting 45 FPS in Rocket League at 1080p from a 10-year-old $50 AMD system right now. This is incredible. Oh, tech scored! I don't know how to play Rocket League. Does it show? This is a video card in this computer. 10 years old. Well, it's 9 years old, but really it's like it's equivalent to the best from 10 years ago in 2007, a Radeon 4670. Now, I got two of these things. The one in there has a little bit better cooler, so we're going to overclock that one. But look at that girl on there, man. That really shows you how hot and bothered you can get.
Headshot. Monster kill.
When you're on a video card. No, every video card was like this in like the 2000s. It's ridiculous. Some weird anime girl. But compared to, this is a 5770 and this is a 4670. So this would be like the next year or the year after. Maybe a year and a half later. They're using a ridiculous cooling setup compared to this. A ridiculous heatsink. And then, this is 5 years ago. This is a 550 Ti from NVIDIA, and it has heat pipes and everything, external power connector, 1080p graphics out of this, and the system cost $50 roughly. So scope out an older system if you're an inexperienced PC. You want to get into just kind of pulling some cards out and really kind of a little bit of overclocking, and we're going to be overclocking this system shortly, but I'm going to show you some baselines on some of the performance I've been getting out of this, because it's actually really playable and surprising considering it's a $50 10-year-old AMD system. I'm enthralled. Rocket League's been playing great. CSGO, at 1080p, mid to low graphics, I can get playable. And BioShock Infinite, we ran some Unison Heaven benchmarks, some Cinebench, and it's surprising the scores you're getting compared to the performance. It's actually pretty good. Only 4 gigs of RAM in this thing too, and it's DDR2 800 megahertz. That's like half or more of the speed you're getting on the average computer these days. So we're going to check out some benchmarks from this computer, and then I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't overclock the CPU and the graphics cards to gain like maybe 10 FPS total out of this thing. And remember, I do have an Intel system that we're going to be comparing this to tomorrow, which is a Core 2 Duo with a NVIDIA NVIDIA 9600 GT. And then we're going to take that system and probably in a later video fire one of these up-to-date graphics card, or at least more up-to-date graphics cards I've got here in it, to see if eliminating a GPU bottleneck in a computer like that makes it so you can actually really get some good gaming done. So let's go ahead and look at those benchmarks, and then we're going to go ahead and overclock this system. we got into the BIOS. I did not think we were going to. Make sure I'm in frame there. This is the BIOS I was talking about yesterday. I had a little bit better Asus motherboard than what's in this HP, but we're using a Gigabyte motherboard now, and we're going to see if we can't get some voltages up and some memory frequencies up. I was actually surprised. If you go to Performance Booster Zone, there is overclocking settings on this, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to use another motherboard. Is I know Asus is overclock a little bit better, but we're in here and we'll see what happens. So, memory voltage, I have no idea what I'm doing.
What you say?
See, newer motherboards would have just some kind of automatic settings. You can flip a couple of things real easy and then go test. Oh, so let's just see. Save and exit setup.
2 hours later.
So I've been trying to overclock the CPU, the Phenom quad core. Not going very well. I'm at least an hour into trying to get some sort of megahertz, gigahertz CPU clock speed increase. I go into Performance Booster Zone here, change all these values. It still posts no change. Usually the CPU frequency here that started at 200, you think that would gain me something. In advanced chipset features, CPU, this is where you normally, do some changing. We're stuck at 11.5 for the multiplier, so we're stuck at 2.3 gigahertz. And, this won't change. And so, what we're going to do? We're going to give up. And I think we'll have much better luck overclocking in the next episode with the Intel-based system, because it's a much better motherboard. This is a BioStar motherboard. It's like a micro ATX. It's not meant for this. So we're going to do this. We're going to, load, optimize, defaults, save and exit setup. Thank you. We'll go ahead and see if we can overclock the video card to gain a little bit of FPS, but ultimately on this system, we'll need a better motherboard, and I have one, but it doesn't work with the CPU unless I update the BIOS. I might try and update this BIOS, but it wants me to have a floppy drive. I don't have a floppy drive in existence. So jump to me trying to overclock the graphics card. We have the Enable Graphics Overdrive, and we're able to, actually just play with the megahertz right here. We're going to try and put this to 8. Oh, we can only go to 800. Oh. Let's just max it out, dude. Let's see if this does something, okay? I just got finished running Unigine Heaven benchmarking after overclocking, and I've got some crazy results. We're gonna shut the damn biplane off. That's right. I just straight up pressed the power button, but it's shutting down properly, so shut up. Benchmarking scores before the overclock of 100 megahertz, and I went and full tilted the Radeon settings to 866 megahertz on the memory. 20 FPS before. Oh man, it's so much quieter in here. 22.8 frames per freaking second after the overclock, leaving this thing the champion. No, it's pretty much done. All this thing's good for running the Phenom quad core without any overclocking is CSGO, Half-Life 2, Bioshock Infinite you could get away with playing, Rocket League, you can play these games on it. Don't get me wrong, if you want to get into messing around with computers, it's a fun hobby, and you can get to going on one of these for very, very cheap. No one wants these computers anymore. They're pretty much considered obsolete, but I proved you can do some cool stuff on them. For 2 FPS, I'm not going to run any more tests on this AMD system. I am done. I'm going to bed. I have lots coming up, though. AMD Ryzen is in the mail. Okay, I've got a Ryzen 1700 coming. I've got a Asus motherboard coming. I've got some Corsair Vengeance RAM coming. We're going to do a PC build. We're going to compare it with this old system and see, gigaflops versus gigahertz, mega silly gigabobs. And I'm going to bed, so watch Timmy Joe on Twitter. There's lots of videos coming up, all that good stuff. So hit the subscribe button, and we're gonna have a lot of fun playing with computers over the next couple of weeks, couple of months, because I'm jazzed on it, and I've got all kinds of stuff to play with. See you guys later.